Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, T-Bone, from the LUNSB Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. It's Sunday morning. It's 10:38. Because for the last 8 minutes, I have been going nutso trying to do this. So I got yelled. Just got yelled my way. All right. Okay. I have been having a bad day. And those of you watching on TikTok, you're having a worse day. But here's what I'm going to tell you right now. Don't care. Do not care at all. Not one single. I'm closing it right now. Closing it. You know why? Because I don't have the mental capacity to do the TikTok and to do the Facebook simultaneously on my own. There's just too much freaking clicking that needs to be done. And that's why I'm 8 minutes late, because I couldn't unclick the thing that I clicked. But I'm not going to let that get the best of me. We're going to move on. It's a new year. New you, baby. Okay? I realized that came in hot. And I don't even have the headphones on, and I realized that came in hot. Sunday mornings, 10:30, we come to you every week, and we do this thing called the Supplemental. And on the Supplemental, we do three things. We talk about your national days of the week. We talk about a community, a comedy, or a charity event that we want you to know about. And then we wrap it all up with This Week in History, a trivia style. I do all this in preparation for the next taping of the LUNSB Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew, which will happen not long after this. So I'm glad I was able to get all of my anger out of the way. Let's get things started with your national days of the week. Now, I just realized days of the week I need. I just realized, because I was too busy doing all of the other things, that the national days of the week that it gave me were for next week, or last week. And this one wants to give it to me from Monday. No. Sunday to Sunday. Starting today. And because it's AI, please. I'm being kind to my robot overlords. You have no idea. Don't tell me to take a Midol. You have no idea the level of frustration that I feel in trying to create a quality product for you and your family. And pretty much nobody else. Just you, the wife, and the kids, and mom and dad. That's pretty much who I'm all. My wife doesn't even watch the show. I mean, she does, but she watches it way late. All right, let's get back on topic, and let's get things started with your national days of the week. I'm gonna. You. Traditionally, we go from Monday to Sunday. We're going to break from tradition just a wee bit because we took a week off. We did the Tibbs Eve special, and then we take a week off, a little rest and relaxation, and then we start it all up again with all of the same frustration. So I don't normally do Sunday to Sunday, but I'm going to do Sunday to Sunday this week just because, why not? Starting with today, Sunday, January the 4th, is National Spaghetti Day. Many times the children, they called me a chief of spaghetti. And I thought it was funny. And those children are now adults, married and having children. The little children that used to call me Chief Spaghetti are full-grown adults with children. It's crazy how that works out. Let's talk about the spaghetti. You can do it many ways. Traditionally, you get your pasta, you got your meat sauce, you lay down the pasta, you put the meat sauce on top. You don't mix it. You don't do that when it's fresh. When it's fresh, it's spaghetti, and then it's sauce, and that's that. Now, leftovers, you mix the spaghetti, you mix the sauce. That's okay. But the first presentation of your spaghetti has got to be spaghetti con sauce. Yeah, sauce at the top. And Parmesan. Parmesan Reggiano. You got to get the good stuff, you know? So that's just spaghetti. What you don't know, what you may not know is you can also bake it. You can make the spaghetti like you would make the spaghetti leftovers, all right? Because we've already covered, if you're having spaghetti, it's sauce, Parmesan, boom, done. Leftovers, you mix it all together in a bowl, you put it in a container, you put it in a refrigerator. However, if you use the leftover recipe, mix it all in a bowl, put it all together, and then put it in a baking pan, 350 degrees, 45 minutes. Add some eggs. Add some wovies. Add a couple eggs to the mix and get it all in there. And then more cheese. Molto cheese. Molto formaggio. Add a lot of cheese to the mix. And some eggs, and you put the spaghetti in there. And what you're going to come out with is kind of like just a crazy lasagna. It's like lasagna, but it's done with spaghetti noodles. And you cut it in slices. Today, Sunday, January the 4th, National Spaghetti Day, I am so tempted right now to just leave you all, bye, and go make some baked spaghetti. Because that sounds delightful. I would, but I got a lot of split pea soup I still have to eat from Christmas. Yay me. Moving on. I'd like to say moving on, and then I go and look at your comments. But it looks like the last comment I got was from James 5 minutes ago, and I've read that many times, so we're good. Who would do that? Who would do that? Who would go out of their way to make a day that says that? I feel like I should have saved all of that. Monday, January the 5th, is National Thank God It's Monday Day. Who does that? Who goes out of their way to make a day to say thank God it's Monday? I'll tell you who does it. I've had 10 seconds to think about it. The person who does something like that is a survivor. Someone who has come close to extinction, fought their way back from the abyss, and is now happy for Mondays. I didn't know it was a day of the year. I didn't know it was a day to be celebrated, because I think every day is Monday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Every day for me personally is another great day, and thank God for that day. It's funny. We've come to start doing these things called alive days. You're in a combat situation and bad guy almost gets you. He almost gets you. And you have this thing that you're now supposed to celebrate as your alive day because you could have been dead, but you're alive. And when I was growing up in the military, we didn't have alive days. You just lived. And thanks to my upbringing, I had more than one alive day before I even joined the military where I shouldn't be here, but I am, and I'm happy to be here. And then in the military, I had a couple of alive days. And then I retired from the military, and I definitely had what I consider my most recent. You can't keep track of all the times that you almost died. You can't dwell on that. It's a bad place mentally. I just dealt with the fact the most recent time that I almost died. Well, that's not even true. So it happened on this day, but then it happened multiple times. For a year. I was just dying every day. I would call 2022 the year of Tony's death. But tomorrow is Monday. And thank God it's Monday. And thank God I get to see another Monday. And to all of the other survivors out there in the world, thank God you get to see another Monday. Because as stupid as that day was, when I looked at it on the screen, in Revelation, I realize, thank God it's Monday. And that's tomorrow, January 5th. National. Thank God it's Monday Day. Moving on, I have no comments. What I try to do is I try to do the thing and then go look at the comments and then address your comments and then go and do the thing. And I do it that way because it's easier when I'm editing it later. Oh, that seems appropriate. Tuesday, January 6th, is National Bean Day. Immediately, I'm trying to think of where I want to go with this. Do I want to tell you a funny story about the derogatory term beaner? Because I didn't know it was a derogatory term the first time I heard it. I just couldn't understand why he kept saying, he called me a beaner. I had no idea what that meant. Or do I tell you about my recent intake of the fibrous material that is a bean? I choose the latter. Beans are high in fiber and they're good for you, especially if you need to move some stuff in the regions, in the gastrointestinal regions. You need to move some things. Beans, they're good for the heart. They sure are. So yeah, I needed to move some things. Plus, she got like a 32-pound freaking ham for Christmas, and she doesn't eat leftovers. So now, I'm doing the best I can do with getting rid of all of the ham because I don't believe in wasting food. I also am doing my absolute best at losing weight and trying not to eat all the food. But then she buys a 72-pound ham and she doesn't eat it, and I don't want to waste it, so I got to eat it. I got sick of eating it. I did. I was having a piece of ham here and there, and then I would have a ham sandwich, and I was trying to find more ways to make the ham interesting, and I just said, screw it. I took dried beans. If you don't know, let me share with you this, okay? If you don't know. The beans that come in a bag, like 29 cents. They're super cheap, and there's a pound of them. You buy those, and the mentality is you got to soak them for 24 hours, and you got to do this, No, you don't. You got to get yourself an Instapot. You take out the beans. Now, I don't know if you know about beans in a bag, But sometimes they come with rocks. They warn you on the label, like, these beans may have rocks inside of them. So rinse them thoroughly. And you do. You rinse them thoroughly, and then you put them in the Instapot. And you had many cups of water, and that's it, man. Nothing else. I had all of this ham that needed to be eaten, so I chopped that up, and I threw it in with the water and the dried beans. I set it at 55 minutes, and I walked away. I came down here. I did some stupid stuff. I argued with ChatGPT. I did the things I do. I went back upstairs, and I had pounds of beans with ham that needed nothing else. It needed nothing else. The beans and the ham was all the flavor that this thing needed. I don't know. It's funny to me because split bean soup is a big thing for my wife. It's a big thing for her. She's got to have the bone, and she got to have the meat that comes off the bone. And she got to have the Trinity. She's got to have the onions and the celery and the carrots, the Tibus family Trinity. And she's got to put all this work into it. It probably involves a slow cooker that lasts like 7 or 8 hours. And I just threw some bags of beans in a pot with water and ham, and I got the exact same taste. I don't know when's the last time you've had some beans. Beaner. But think about having a little bit more on Tuesday, January 6th. National Beans Day. To your comments, because I saw a couple pop up. Ham and bean soup, no beans. We are already dealing with the aftermath of sauerkraut. I did not do that this year. Pork and sauerkraut, a big thing here in Pennsylvania when it comes to being lucky. I also had a jackpot that day, so that would explain why I wasn't eating freaking sauerkraut. Ham and bean soup was amazing. He will eat beans with dirt and rocks, but not your Christmas cookies or dip. True story. So my friends are mail carriers. Sean, Dick and Sheets, and Damianopolis are no kidding mail guys, okay? They deliver mail. And one of the things that happens with them is someone brings, they give them cookies. Merry Christmas, here's some cookies. Which, if you know my take on homemade cookies, they're the perfect device for revenge. It is the most diabolical way to get revenge on someone that you despise. I never eat anyone's homemade cookies. Not gonna do it. Not done it. And they take them from relatively strangers. Yeah, they know where they live and they're on their route, but they don't know these people. They just deliver them packages, and once a year, those people give them cookies, and they eat the cookies. I'm not eating the cookies, man. I am not eating the cookies. Or dip. I'm not eating the dip either. Those are your comments, and we move on. I didn't know that. Yeah, that last one is real. And Radio Gold. Why not? Why not? New year, new you, right? Wednesday, January the 7th is National Pass Gas Day. Look, I'm not a fan of flatulence. I'm not a flatulence fan, okay? But I understand we all do it. We're gas-creating creatures, and the healthier you are, the more gas you pass. And there's ways of doing it. There's the childish and immature way of eating things to increase the heinousness of your gas and then blowing that gas on your coworkers. That gets you shanked. I will shank you. I don't play those games. I never did. Even young, immature me was never a fan of farting on people or being farted on by people. Not a fan. A Dutch oven. Never did it. Ever. There's no, that's not, it's so stupid. If on Wednesday, January the 7th, National Pass Gas Day, I could tell you anything. I could say, use some manners. Be polite. Don't fart around people if you don't have to. Take it outside. I was recently at a comedy show in Mechanicsburg, and I stepped outside for a minute, and the person in front of me was also stepping outside for a minute, and then we slightly conversed when he admitted to me that he had just stepped outside to fart. Number one, heads up, good on you, sir. Good on you, because that's a gentleman. A gentleman takes his poopy smell outside in a restaurant and didn't expect to be followed by somebody like me, and then to create the separation, explain to me why he went out there. And that is class. You wouldn't have expected it from him because he's a large man. And, when people see large men, they just assume we're farting on everything. And maybe I am. But if I do pass gas, I'm going to try to not do it around you. And I'm going to go out of my way to say, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. I am apologetic. I am an apologetic pass gasser. And you should be too. And ladies, I don't care how comfortable you are with your man. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? It's not ladylike. No. Don't do that. Okay? And even if you still say, excuse me. You ripping ass like a college frat boy. No. Don't do that. It's not ladylike. And I'll stay tuned for your comments. And that is Wednesday, January 7th, National Pass Gas Day. To your comments. Christmas was amazing, and the cat, no, that's not nice. But she's a child, so I guess kids can fart a little bit, okay? It's part of being a kid, okay? You make the farty noises, and you make the farty noises, and even if you're a little girl, I guess you can experience that for a little bit, okay? But soon, that's not ladylike, and you need to knock it off. All right. Oh, I don't even know what the hell that is. Thursday, January the 8th, is National Bubble Bath Day. Treat yourself, okay? I made it a habit for many, many years when I could fit inside a bathtub once a week, I would take a bubble bath. And I was living alone, okay? I had no one to impress. I wasn't dating anybody. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was all by myself, or as they would say, all by myself. I was living alone all by myself, but once a week, I would run a hot tub, and I would put some bubbles in it, and I would just try to let it all go away. If you think about it, there is something to a nice hot soak. And if you don't have a hot tub, the only way you get a nice hot soak is in a bathtub. And the bubbles help you hide the things. I don't want to look at me in the bathtub. I want bubbles. Ooh, look at the bubbles. And not, look at this needs some work. I don't want to do that. There's flavor savors, aromas, things that you could put in to make the bubbles better. But I just wanted the bubbles. I didn't need much more than the bubbles, but I did that once a week. And, for 30 or 40 minutes, that was me time. That was genuine. Nobody else in the world but me in a hot soak. You should do that. Take the time. Just take some time to be with you. Because if you know anything about crazy, you know the hardest person to be around. I recently was on the road for a very long time, driving, and I got into here, and that's not a good place to be. That's not a good place. And I tried to distract myself with other things, but I was on the road for a very long time, and I was in here, and I was in here, and I was in here. I really could have used a bubble bath. When I got back, I should have taken a bubble bath, but I don't really fit in a tub. I'm the James Polk of presidents. The guy who was so fat, was it Polk? I think it was Polk. He was so fat that they invented the hot tub, which was basically just a bigger tub that you put the water in. And I have a hot tub, and it's 27 degrees outside, and I am going to get in it today. I try to get in there once a week for the same reasons, because it's good for you, and it's quality time with yourself. And the water's already hot, and it's, 10 minutes. It's a 10 minutes on the high-pressure bubble cycle. But no bubbles. I actually have to look at myself. All right, and then that is Thursday, January the 8th, National Bubble Bath Day. To your comments. I got plenty of comments. Living in the moment. I have been disregarded. Tony was living in the moment. Or get a hot tub. Yeah. Or could someone get a... Here we are for you. That's right. Take your time. Enjoy yourself. Some candles. Elton John bubbles. I don't understand all of your comments because you're responding to things that I'm saying while I'm saying them. And then I say other things. And then I come to read your comments, and I don't know what you're commenting on. So if you could use, complete sentences in your comments, I thought the thing you said about the thing was funny, and this is my comment to the thing, that'd be helpful. Ooh. Let's do that. Friday, January 9. National Static Electricity Day. I will never understand static electricity. I will never understand it. I don't know how it works. I don't know I don't know the things. But for a time, I did know some of the things. I did know that if I shuffled my feet across the floor, I could walk up to somebody and go, bam, no more. I could do that. And I only rhymed that for the purpose of that segment. I didn't say no more. I just walked up and zapped them. But I don't know what causes static electricity, but I do know I've caused it. And they're like, static electricity is like the 10 times the power of the sun in an instant. I don't know if any of that's true. But I did know in New York, we had a school that had carpets, why. And if you shuffled your feet across the carpet, you could blast all your friends. That was fun. Yay. But then, as a high school kid, that was kind of weird. I carried a briefcase. Everywhere I went because I wanted people to see how on the move I was with my briefcase. And I'd put my books and stuff inside them. That was my briefcase. But my briefcase, in the movement through the air, caused me to generate a charge. And when I got to wherever I was going, the very first thing I did was jolt the bejesus out of myself. In my current workspace, again, carpeted. Why do we carpet all these things? You know, I lived overseas for so many years, I honestly can't remember ever being static clinged. What are you talking about here? Static charged. Static. I can never remember getting zapped from static electricity any of the time that I lived overseas. I don't know anything about it. But I do know that we didn't have carpet. We had carpets, but most of our floors were tiled floors. All of our floors were tiled floors that had some carpet on them. Is carpet what causes static electricity? And could we possibly harness this? Could we take all of the humans in the carpet-dwelling world and shuffle our feet and touch a point at the same time and power the city? That seems a lot more effective than windmills that don't mill the wind. I don't know. Again, I prefaced all of this conversation with I don't know anything about static electricity. I do know that in my office that is carpeted, when I go to open the door, I always do it with the back side of my hand, like I'm checking for fire on the other side. I just do it with the back side of my hand to discharge any static electricity that may have built up from the 2-foot walk to my door. And often there is a charge. So shuffle all you want. Zap your children. The opposite of passing gas is passing electricity. Passing gas, bad. Zapping people with electricity, hilarious. And remember that on Friday, January 9th, National Static Electricity Day. To your comments. I just like moving that out of the way. And you read them backwards. Oh, yeah. I do read your comments backwards because I read them from the top to the bottom, but you're typing them from the top to the bottom, and the last thing you said was at the bottom. I get it. A static electricity comment. My comment, it's the building positive and negative charges with electrons. Oh, well, aren't you a genius? Aren't you so smart? Commenting on static electricity overseas, Europe is tiled so they wash the floors after bloodshed. Ha ha ha. Being the mic is in the way. It is in the way of the comments. The comments are literally right there, and no matter which eye I close, they're blocked. So if I just move it out of the way, I can read the comments. Moving on. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that Saturday, January 10th. National House Plant Appreciation Day. Because there's nothing your house plants want more than appreciation. I don't know how many you have. I don't know what the normal number of house plants is. I do know studies, in case you're curious, scientific studies by scientific people have said the best thing you can do for your overall health is put a plant in your bedroom. or several plants in your bedroom, not because of any other reason that oxygen. That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know how many houseplants is the norm. I know for a very long time we had fake plants in our house. And the wife has slowly been getting rid of the fake plants that look like real plants and require no maintenance. But at the same time, she's gotten real plants. And she puts them in the most difficult places. Like in the window that overlooks the sink, that overlooks the yard. That's where she decided to grow a garden in a space that wasn't designed to grow a garden, but does get natural sunlight. And one of these house plants is a tiny little truck. And in this truck there were 3 stems, and the stems were cute in the tiny little truck. And now the stems are like 4 feet tall, and the truck is still tiny. I've mentioned to her that we should probably repot these giant stalks of things. Feed me, Seymour. I don't know what plant this is. It's alien to me. It's unrecognizable. So I'm curious, how many house plants do you have? And how many of them probably need to be repotted at some point soon? Or how many of them are going to eat you? If you've never seen A Little Shop of Horrors, you're missing out. And I remind you to use this as an opportunity to watch the movie Little Shop of Horrors on Saturday, January the 10th, National Houseplant Appreciation Day. The plant was named, no, Seymour was the guy who took care of the plant. What was the name of the plant? And why was he black? True, the voice is definitely not a white actor. Okay, all right. Over to your comments, moving the microphone over there. I'm going to read them from the bottom up to try to see if I can piece together what you're saying. None. I would forget about them and they would die. We're talking about houseplants. Good job. I understood exactly what you're saying there. Not boneless, fing evil iPhone. None, Jess. Boneless kills them all. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying, but I appreciate you saying it. I love that. All right, and it cut us off at Saturday. Oh, I am so angry, but I can't be angry any longer. So, next big thing, comedy, community, charity, ComComChar related, is the 21st of January. We're going to be going out to the Texas Roadhouse. And at the Texas Roadhouse, we're going to spend some money. And when we spend that money, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much is in this thing. We're going to be supporting the East Pennsboro Fire Police. East Pennsboro Fire Police, in association with local broadcasters. Not true. They have a fundraiser. Part of the fundraiser was buying their gift cards at a discount to the Texas Roadhouse there in Camp Hill. On the 21st of July, you go out there for dinner and you tell them you're there to support the East Pennsboro Fire Police. And a portion of the proceeds from your meal are going to go and support the brave men and women of the East Pennsboro Fire Police, who are there in time of need. When you don't think you need some fire police, that's when the East Pennsboro Fire Police show up. So and they can't do it for free. They need a little bit of money. That was part one of the fundraiser was buying the gift cards. Part two of the fundraiser is the 21st of January, actually using the gift cards or not, just going to the Texas Roadhouse and rack up a bill. Eat some vittles, get some food in your belly, and all the little rolls. Oh my God! I don't know what comedian says this. It's one of my local guys. He says, Jesus says man cannot live on bread alone. Jesus has never been to a Texas Roadhouse because that bread is amazing and it's got the butter. Oh, it's got the good butter. The 21st of January, Texas Roadhouse Camp Hill. Is the one that is supporting the function. But if you bought any of the gift cards, you can use that Texas Roadhouse gift card at any point, and they've already received. It's a great fundraiser. They did it so that they make money when they sell the gift cards, and they make money when people come to eat on the 21st of January at the Texas Roadhouse. So let's make it a day. Let's go there together. I'm not going to pay your bill, but I will run up a bill. I'm going to eat some food. Last time I made sure to get dessert. I don't normally do dessert, but I was running up the bill because they get a percentage of the bill to help them do things. So I filled up on bread. I had an amazing meal and dessert and some takeaways. I may have gotten an extra meal to take home to eat at a later time because I was trying to run up the bill for the East Pennsboro Fire Police. And that has been your Come Char community comedy charity note. Yes, Fire Police. When you need traffic directed and blue lights on your Ford Focus, that's funny. I like that. La 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 la. Why, man? What the cheesesteaks? I'm gonna start using that's good. I like that. What the cheesesteaks? Ba ba da ba. I need. So, Chat GPT is like everything else. If you don't use it on a regular basis, it forgets all of the things. So, all right. It gave me questions of the week, and I did all this earlier. It gave me questions of the week, but they were like 3 weeks ago, the last time we did an episode. And now, time for the fan favorite portion of the program. This Week in History, trivia style. 7 questions, all set to medium difficulty, all multiple choice, no trick questions. We're trying to go 7 for 7. And listen to me, folks. I say this with all honesty. If you go 7 for 7, you're going to feel great. It's a great way to start your Sunday. And if you don't, well, no one's judging you. Okay? You keep your own score. I don't care. But if you go 7 for 7, I want to hear about it. On December 28th, 1895, what groundbreaking event took place in Paris that helped launch the film industry? December 28th, 1895, what groundbreaking event took place in Paris that helped launch the filmmaking industry? Was it the first color film was shown? The first movie theater opened? The first public film screening by the Lumiere brothers? Or the invention of the movie camera? You got 4 options to choose from. There's only a couple of us watching live today, so Jessica and James, I would like you to get your answers in as quickly as possible so we can get through this, because my voice is shot. December 28th, 1895. What groundbreaking event took place in Paris that helped launch the film industry? Was it the first color film was shown? the first movie theater opened, the first public filming screening by the Lumiere brothers, or the invention of the movie camera. James pops in with the invention of the movie camera. Jessica pops in with the invention of the movie camera. And I agree. How could it possibly be any of the other things if the movie camera hadn't already been invented? Great job, everybody. I think we'll find out together at the end. On December 29th, 1975, what U.S. city experienced a major hotel fire that led to nationwide changes in fire safety codes? 22-second delay. Got it. That's why I repeat the things. On December 29th, 1975, what U.S. city experienced a major hotel fire that led to nationwide changes in fire safety codes? Here are your multiple choice options. Las Vegas, New Orleans, New York City, or, and James answers a question with a question, Chicago? Option D is Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. I used to work in Chicago, the old department store. I used to work in Chicago. I don't work there anymore. In December, the worst fires that I've ever seen have always occurred around Christmas, but they also always occurred in the north. St. John's, Newfoundland is one that stands out to me. Always in the north. Boston had a big one. New York had a big one. But Chicago, Jessica's going to go with Chicago. I mean, New York City. James is going to go with Chicago. I also believe this occurred in Chicago. And we'll find out soon enough. And for those of you watching this later in life, if you're not watching live, feel free to put your answers in when we ask the questions. We don't take points away just because you're not watching with us live. Question number 3. On December 30th, 1922, which former Russian territory officially became part of the Soviet Union? Let me play that back for you. December 30th, 1922, what former Russian territory officially became part of the Soviet Union? Was it Poland, Ukraine, Finland, or Lithuania? Now, this falls into the category of either you know it or you don't know it. And I don't know how up-to-date you are on 1922 Soviet Union history. I'm not. I could do a random guess. Poland has been a disputed territory for years. James immediately says Poland. They were in, they were out, they were in. There was Hitler, there wasn't Hitler. He changes it to Ukraine. Blackjack, no trade back. We've discussed this before. It could be Ukraine. It's 1922. The wars haven't started yet. But they're going to start. Jessica says, Ukraine? What is with this family and the question marks? They are both going to go with Ukraine. I'm going to go with Poland. It's just because it's such a disputed territory. They probably joined back into the Soviet Union because they saw what was happening. Then they were the first ones to be taken down by the Germans. And eventually they leave. I think it's Poland. That's my guess. Poland was used for the concentration camps by Germany, and Germany didn't go to the USSR until later. So saith you, and probably Google, because you cheat. I don't know. That's my guess, man. You can't take it from me. It's mine. And if I'm right, boom, on you. Speaking of which, Alfred Nobel was a freaking chemist, okay? Let's. Yes, he invented dynamite, but that was not his profession. His profession was he was a chemist. I just want to. I went back to one of the past week's episodes and I had to add that as a footnote that I don't care if AI says I was wrong. I may be right. I may be right. I may be crazy. Question number 4. On December 31st, 1999, widespread concern centered around which technological issue as the new millennium approached. On December 31st, 1999, widespread concern centered around which technological issue as the new millennium approached. Was it internet overload? Satellite failure? A Y2K bug? Or power grid sabotage? James immediately pops in with Y2K. I imagine Jessica will pop in with Y2K very soon afterwards. I will also say Y2K because that is the correct answer. And the breakup of Prince and the new power generation. I think he began the new power generation back then. I think he broke up with the revolution. I may be crazy. Here's something you didn't know. It was not just a technological issue. Gravestones already had 19 built into them. So when it came time of your death, they could just put the year. So with a whole bunch of gravestones, they had to find a different way of doing business because they had removed the headstone. They had ruined the headstones by predicting that we would all be dead before 1999. Moving on. You really have me wanting to go on Google right now and finding out if I'm right. I'm pretty sure Prince and the new power generation began in the year 2000. Not ended. January 1st, 1863. Which historic proclamation officially took effect in the United States? I don't know how many times this comes up. Is it because geolocation? Is it because of where I am? That's why it always comes up. But I mean, throughout the year, we're always asked questions about this subject. Again, January 1st, 1863, which historic proclamation officially took effect in the United States. Was it the Gettysburg Address? The Emancipation Proclamation? The Bill of Rights? Or the Reconstruction Act? Now, I gotta tell you, the multiple choice answers. James already pops in with Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation, isn't that the Gettysburg Address? 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth to this nation a new. Yeah, isn't it the same thing? The Gettysburg Address is the Emancipation Proclamation. Oh, it's in the details. He made the Emancipation Proclamation during the Gettysburg Address, but it didn't officially become law until January 1st. Jessica agrees it's the Emancipation Proclamation. I agree it's the Emancipation Proclamation. It is definitely not the Bill of Rights. That's about 100 years too late. And the Reconstruction Act, the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution, he says that was a different thing. I believe the answer is the Reconstruction Act. I could be wrong, but that's officially doing something. Speaking at a graveyard dedication in Gettysburg is not officially doing something. Making a proclamation is not officially doing something. But signing an act into law is. I'm going with the Reconstruction Act, and you can all just... All right, question number 6. On January 2nd, 1968, what famous film director released 2001, A Space Odyssey, to select audiences? Basically, what was the words of the question? I'm assuming you're referring to the previous one. On January the 1st, 1863, which historic proclamation officially took effect in the United States? Oh, you're trying to say because it says proclamation. I see what you're saying there. The question, who was the director of 2001, A Space Odyssey? I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. Screw you, monkey monolith people. Was it George Lucas, Alfred Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, or Ridley Scott? James has already answered. Everybody knows it's Kubrick. Probably one of the wackiest movie directors there ever was. Just not right in the head. The way he tortured some of his actors and actresses, I still use actresses, I find it despicable. If there was HR in the movie business, Jessica says Kubrick. If there was HR in the movie business, a lot of things would be different. All right, question number 7. On January 3rd, 1959, what U.S. state, God, I feel like this is going to be wrong again. On January 3rd, 1959, what U.S. state was admitted as the 49th state? Alaska, Hawaii, Arizona, or New Mexico? January 3rd, 1959. What U.S. state was admitted as the 49th state? Alaska, Hawaii, Arizona, New Mexico. James pops in with Hawaii. But he also popped in with a comment of can't argue with Full Metal Jacket. Now, I'm saying the director was a whack job, not the movies that he made. Alaska is 49 and Hawaii is 50. So what is it, man? Seward's Folly. That is correct. Secretary of State Seward, who was also supposed to be murdered on the night they murdered Abraham Lincoln. That's not even true. They shot Abraham Lincoln. They didn't murder him that night. He died later. But Seward was also supposed to be murdered that night. Secretary of State, the Vice President of the United States, and the President of the United States were all supposed to be murdered. And Seward beat his attacker to a pulp. And he also bought Alaska for like $2. And they called it a folly. James is settling on Alaska. I agree that it was Alaska. And not Hawaii. Hawaii. Yes. All right. Hawaii, I am positive, is the 50th state. So there we go. Let's ask for the answers by saying to our robot overlords, answers, please. Jessica didn't get an answer in for the 49th state, did she? Oh, Hawaii. She went with Hawaii. Okay. This is some bull poop. uh, question number one, apparently, the first public film screening by the Lumiere brothers. Now, when I saw Lumiere, I was like, that's got to be it. It's Lumiere. That's as French as you could possibly get. That's as Parisian as you can get. But they hadn't invented the freaking movie camera. How are the Lumiere brothers making a movie? I don't know. I don't think any of us got that right. Maybe you did. I don't know. Question number two was actually New York City, 1975 at the Roosevelt Hotel. Question number three, I am not doing well today. Ukraine. Question number four was Y2K. Question number five was the Emancipation Proclamation. Question number six was Stanley Kubrick. Question number seven was Alaska. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but from the rhapsodiness of my voice, I ain't got much left in me. And somehow we have to tape episode number 1 of season 14 of the LUNSB Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew in just a few minutes. And then I get to watch my Buffalo Bills beat the New York Jets. Let's go, Buffalo. Ladies and gentlemen, I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you're a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Brew sends her love. And I'm curious. My friend Johnny Millwater had a show that he was doing for a long time. And at the end, he sang this song. And I really like this song. And I would look forward to singing this song with him. And if I started singing this song, would you, my regulars, sing along with me as we come to a conclusion? Now, I know there's a time delay, but you wouldn't notice. You would just be saying these words. And it's an old, wonderful, returning war hero song from Britain. And we don't have to do all of it, but it's something like this. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. And there's another verse to it, but we'll stick with that one right now. I like the way, I love the sentiment of that song. With that being said, LUNSB. Keep shining through, just like you always do.